Hey, welcome to another great episode of the Real Deal Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Courtney Harding. Glad to be back with a new and incredible episode. Have a returning guest back on the podcast. Very excited to catch up with her in a few minutes. But before we get started, hit my music. Let's get it. All right. Once again, welcome to another great and incredible episode of the Real Deal Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Courtney Harden. Glad to be back with a new episode. It is April 28th, 9 o'clock, 9:15 p.m. So it's a late evening edition of the podcast. But you can follow the show on all the podcast platforms, whether it is Apple, Spotify, YouTube, bs3tvlive.com, BS3 Network, BS3 Network, Roku channel, wherever you consume podcasts. You can check out all the episodes, and you can check out the BS3 Network and that incredible network of all the shows there, where the sports, media, business, cooking, movie, TV review. We got it covered. BS3 Network, BS3TVLive.com. All right, well, let me bring in my guest. She has been on the show many, many times, so I'm always excited to have her back on, and very excited. We're going to talk about a little bit of everything, podcasting. Got to talk about the new WNBA team, which begins this season, the Toronto Tempo. We also got the Toronto Raptors in the playoffs, so we're going to get into all of that. So let me bring on stage here Payal Doshi, podcast host of the Passion Projects podcast, and yeah, she does a little of everything: podcasting and does just writing, got a YouTube channel, all those things. So, Pal, welcome back to the show. Really appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me. It's so
Yeah.
nice to be back on.
Yes, it's so exciting, and yeah, we got Nathan on here. He says, "Friend, back on the show. We appreciate it. We appreciate that. Thank you for tuning in, Nathan, and yeah, thank you for doing this. We were chatting before, just kind of catching up and everything too. So, how's everything going with you? And felt like we just, I think we did it. I know we did a show. It's probably during our unrivaled season, so sometime in
Yeah.
January, February. But how's everything going? And yeah, you've been doing your thing with the podcast as well.
Yeah, things are going good. Got some exciting guests on my podcast as
Yes.
well. Had some uh exciting opportunities. Love that the Raptors are back in the playoffs.
Yes.
Yeah, the
Yes.
Toronto Tempo debuting their season
Mhm.
next week. That is so exciting. Um, it's it's a good time to be a Toronto fan. The Jays are back in action again.
Yep.
Um, it's I mean, Courtney, is it like 2016 all over again? Like
Feels like it, right? Hey,
when
that was 10
when
years
I
ago,
think
so it feels
about
like it.
when I think about the Toronto Raptors and the Cavs, like it just makes me think back to where I was when covering that whole series in 2016.
Yeah, yes. And I remember, yeah, you were covering, like you said, 10 years ago,
Right?
covering this, and he said Cavs Raptors. You know, when LeBron was bound on the Cavs, and even
LeBronto days.
yeah, yes. There's those Cleveland days, and wow, that's a blast. It's funny to say that's 10 years ago, and
I
that's a blast from the
know.
past. But now we have the Raptors and Cavaliers in the playoffs. So yeah, so as you said, being a Toronto fan, they said the Toronto Tempo. New team will debut in the regular season next week. So
Yeah.
WNBA regular season starts next week. I know we're both excited about that, and yeah, so it's a good time to be a sports fan for sure.
100%. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, right. So, but I'm glad to, like I said, have you on. And but yeah, let's start with the podcast, Passion Projects. Incredible show, by the way. And always, I know you always have great guests. I'm always looking at listening and with the guests you have, and things like that. So we were just talking about some of the guests that we've had. Some of them are intertwined and others. But
Yeah.
talk about the how Passion Project is going, and what you got coming up with Passion Projects.
Yeah, things are going great. I just had CJ Miles on. He was
Yeah,
fantastic
incredible.
talking about the 2019 team before he was traded, just like the chemistry that he had with the bench mob and what that meant to him. He had some insights into a Kobe story he
Mm,
and him had that he hadn't shared surprisingly anywhere else. So that was really cool to unlock, as well as like, you know, getting to go to Michael Jordan's camp as well and what that meant to him.
yes.
Um, and then I recently had another woman on, Mahak, and she is all about spirituality. And she just debuted her own moon journal. So it's all about, aligning with the moon and the lunar cycle and what that means. And it was really a fascinating story and of how she got started doing that. And I have some really cool guests coming on. I know Jordan, you had a chance to speak with her prior
Yes.
to, and so with the WNBA season coming and her new book coming, that's already out and
Yeah.
doing well. She was on. I have an Olympian coming on who competed during Milano 2026.
Mm.
Some very awesome and exciting guests on the horizon too. So definitely stay tuned as well.
Yeah, stay tuned because, like you said, you just never know who's gonna pop up on these
Right?
on our podcast. I mean, as I said, it's great that we have some of the same guests and
Yeah.
able to connect and network with some of these guests, and it's always fascinating how we're able to where our podcasts are and what it represents. I find it very fascinating, and I just saw that our last show we did was December actually, so it was right before Unrivaled.
Wow.
During that,
Yeah.
so yeah, so it's almost it's been almost 5 months. It was right before the holidays, so yeah, so it was
Time
glad to
flies,
catch up. So yeah, it does, and you've had like I said,
right?
you had some incredible guests over the last 4 or 5 months. So
Yeah.
what would you say was some of like some of the best, some of your favorite things that you do on the podcast? Is
Mhm.
it the guests, is it the storytelling, and what's some of your favorite, favorite moments or favorite things that about the on the podcast?
Yeah, I think, some of them have to be talking about, like, the current events that have been happening in
Hmm.
this world too. I had a former news anchor who's been in the industry for over a decade now, and she had an incident with Grok, and, it was her kids, in the car with her, and they were just having this, like, simple conversation about who's the better soccer player, Messi or Ronaldo, and Guac just decided to go haywire and say all these profanity and all this like things that you don't want your kids to hear. And it got to the point where it was just like she had to take action. And just recently, she went. This happening in Canada. She went to Parliament Hill to advocate for child safety online, and I think her story was so fascinating
Yeah.
that it really made me think about like what we're doing as a society in this age of AI and how to protect our kids and
Mm,
safeguard them from what they're doing and what they're seeing on these online platforms. And obviously, I had a chance to interview CJ Miles, who was fantastic as well.
yes.
And some of the conversations that came out of the Jays, and I had a chance to interview Andrew, who follows the Jays and who has his own blog out as well. And it's called the Bat Flip, and we kind of
Mm,
reminisced about the 2025 World Series run that Jays had and how poetic it was in ways, and how
yeah.
it kind of brought the whole city together, let alone even the whole country together too. That was another really fun piece as well that I was able to do. And another one of my favorite bloggers, Lauren Toyota. She's a vegan chef and content creator,
Okay.
and I have both her cookbooks. So I was so excited that she said
Yes,
yes,
yes.
and she came on, and we just had such a great conversation about just her life now, as a mom, of a toddler, how she kind of goes about vegan cuisine and her
Mm,
vegan getaways that she does, and what it is like to, be making meals on the fly, and like how she
right,
got started doing her cookbook. And it was such a really fun and engaging conversation, and so lots of relatable content, I think, that
right.
really came out of all these podcasts, and I hope that someone was able to take any sort of piece of advice from them as well, so, yeah.
That's good. I mean, I love that, and I think when it comes to, like you said, the podcasting, it is it's great when it's very relatable, as you said, and the conversation and just whoever you have on the show, they're able to present themselves, or if they have something to promote, whatever it is, but they're telling their story. And I know how
Yes.
important that is to you, as you said, it being relatable and the storytelling, things like that. I think it's always key when it comes to the podcast and the conversation. I think when the conversation is something that is relatable and something that
Mhm.
can connect with the audience, as you said, hopefully they can learn something from it too. So, and I know that's what Passion Project was ever since we've connected. That's what I know. That's what Passion Project means to you,
Mhm.
is for the audience to connect to the conversation that you're having with your whoever the guest is. So,
Yeah, I really want it to resonate with other people, and
mm,
hope that it's, as you mentioned, relatable, but also inspiring as well.
yes,
Hopefully, you can take a piece out of it and, build upon it, and, like, let me know what your thoughts are, right? And I wanna have conversations are that are needed, and topics that, we might not talk about on an ongoing basis, but like I really want to touch on that. Like I have someone in the wellness space that I'm going to be speaking with too, right? Just learning about how she got to where she is. She told me that she was looking to be a health coach, and she gotten their certification, put it away for so long, and like has finally returned to that, right? And
mm,
so we're going to
yeah,
get into what that means to her. Like, why now did she decide this is the moment, this is the path to go forward and to pursue her passion? And so it just kind of helps to see, if she's going to be following that and doing what she loves, then who's to say you can't, right? Who's to say
yeah,
it doesn't matter how old you are or where you are in your life, but if something is calling, then you should tap into that and really go for it.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yep, you're right. I think that's what it comes down to is and he said if it's the conversation, any type of conversation, even if part of the conversation resonates with someone, you've reached someone, you just never know where it reaches to. I think that's
Mhm.
incredible as well. But yeah, all right. Well, let's get into some other topics that we had on the agenda. Is we got to talk about? He said the WNBA. The regular season begins next week. I can't believe it. Like
I can't
we
believe
were
it.
just yeah, we were just talking about. I don't remember. Like I said, we talked about Unrivaled and will there be a season? Now there is a
Right?
season.
Yeah.
They are able to get a deal done. Now we have a season. Now we're into the preseason right now, and you said uh, you're born in Toronto, and
Mhm.
as you
Raised in
said, born
Toronto.
and raised in Toronto.
Yeah.
Uh, you've covered the Raptors. You were part of that organization, and now you have the Toronto Temple. So we'll go to Temple, then we'll go to Raptors first. But got to
Yeah.
go to the new team, the Toronto
Gotta go.
Raptors. They start. I think they play their first preseason game April 20 tomorrow, actually, the
Tomorrow.
29th, against Connecticut.
Yep.
And
Who's tomorrow?
yes, yeah, tomorrow. So talk about how much I know you're a Toronto fan and everything. Talk about how the excitement of their debut, and what are you expecting from the Toronto Temple this year?
Oh my gosh, I wish I was there right now. I'm so
Yes,
excited.
it's exciting.
We look to have a great team, and it's so exciting to see Kia Nurse, a
Yes,
Canadian
representing.
herself from Hamilton, Ontario, going to be part of this team. I
Hmm.
think that means everything. She's also been doing some analysis work with with TSN, the local broadcast for the Toronto Raptors as well, and so it's great to have her as like a veteran presence and to
Yep.
kind of show the ropes to the young women and the rookie like Kiki Rice. I'm excited to see what she brings from, winning championship with UCLA to now being part of a new franchise, and it's
Yes.
just I feel like sky's the limit. There's so much that is exciting, and having Sandy at the helm too, who
Mm,
has
yeah.
never not gone to the playoffs. This is going to be an exciting season to see, where it can go because expansion teams, for the most part, it's there. You're finding your way, you're gelling, but like you never know what can happen this time around.
Yeah.
There's so much at stake, but also like you have veteran in Sky as well. 10 years in the league, and like let's see what she can bring to the table as well.
Yes, there's this team is interesting because you said with Sandy Brondello coming from the Liberty,
Yeah.
winning a championship just 2 seasons ago, and being able to come here. When Sandy got let go by the Liberty, I felt like, okay, she's too good of a coach not to be
Mhm.
coaching. So I figured, okay, Toronto needs a coach, and then Portland. So they're the two expansion teams this year. And we just saw what the Golden State Valkyries, what they were able to do
Right.
last year, make the playoffs,
Yes.
uh, in their first season. What an incredible year! And the way Toronto got, the way they have their roster constructed with young talent and veterans too. I mean, Maria Mabry, Brittany Sykes, Isabel Harrison. Like those are your veterans. Those are key veterans. I mean, they were able to sign Maria Mabry and Brittany Sykes. I think right there is a great start
Yep.
immediately.
Mhm.
A great start. Then you said the sixth pick, Kiki Rice from UCLA, just coming off a championship. So you have that as well. And as you said, the veteran Kia Nurse, Canadian star, is on this team as well. So I really I really like their roster too, and they got Naira Sabali as well, from the Liberty, Julian Alleman. So they could be competitive. I think Toronto will be competitive. You said with a uh, expansion team. Sometimes it does
Mhm.
take some time, and it's going to take time. But with Sandy at the helm, she's in win now mode. So it's not gonna be
Exactly.
something where it's gonna be a okay. We're gonna just we're you
Play
know
out the season or
plant
anything like that.
seed and then
No.
you
Yeah.
start slow. Now, yes, it's going to take some time for chemistry and stuff, but other than that, I can see them really. I don't know. They could they. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting season for them. And as you said, if I know how competitive Brittany Sykes and Mabry are.
Yeah.
They don't want to lose. So they what Sandy got with them as veteran leaders, they could really they could surprise. I think Toronto could definitely surprise.
I think Brittany was also saying in their media day interviews too, that she obviously attended when the Raptors playoff games, and she was
Mhm.
saying that the energy was
Yes.
so great and the atmosphere with like during the playoffs, it's like unlike any other. And so someone said, like a fan was just like, we're going to bring the same energy to the tempo, which
Mhm.
is like, of course, this is going to happen because when Toronto backs their team, they go all out. And
Yes.
we saw during the like during last season when they held these regular season games in Toronto, the amount of people that came out to watch
Yeah.
them, and in Vancouver as well. So it's great that there is a fan base behind them, and we're
Absolutely.
all excited to see them take their first steps and play. Even the preseason game tomorrow is going to be amazing to watch. They'll play 5 regular season games at home, and it will be during the FIFA World Cup as well. And
Hmm.
so you're gonna be getting a lot of foot traffic. Where they play is right where the action will be taking place during the soccer tournament. So you'll see there will be crowds on hand. The
Yes.
traffic will be will be insane, but
Traffic's gonna be insane.
yeah.
Yes, I mean, I yes, and then Toronto is a big city, but it's as you said, World Cup, and now you got the Temple. The Raptors are in the middle in the mix of the playoffs right now. But you said when they will back up, they will back the look at the Blue Jays last year,
Oh
that
man.
run,
Yeah.
and even when the Raptors won the championship, that they will support. They will, like I said, they will back the teams up. So the Temple will be backed up, and then you said they sold out when they played when WNBA games were played there anyway, and in Vancouver. So it's only a
Yeah.
matter of time. So they will sell out. It's excitement. I can feel it. Not even being there, I can feel it just by the way people are talking, with the way it's going down with it. So yeah, I can definitely see this is it's gonna be an interesting season. So I don't know what said depending on how how all everything transpires throughout the season, anything can happen. But
Mhm.
I think they're gonna surprise some. I think they're gonna surprise some teams for
I
sure.
hope so. I think so
Mhm.
too. Why
Yeah,
not?
I do.
Yeah.
I think so. So that's
Right? You gotta
exciting.
lose. Yeah.
And I know you had told me before we recorded that you're thinking of probably going back there, maybe trying to get to a game and
Yes.
everything too. So talk a little bit about that and go heading back to Toronto and being able maybe to see a game and networking and really trying to find a way to say, hey, I could cover some people in the franchise, whether it's front office, players, or the athletes, or even just fans in itself. Talk about that.
Yeah.
Where you might be
I
traveling back to Toronto and being able to catch a game or two.
Yeah, I'm excited to be coming home. It's been a while since the
Yeah,
I was last at home, so I am excited. I'm looking at the schedule, trying to see when I can head over to a Tempo game and, yeah, see if there's an opportunity to get, one of the a couple of the players actually on the show and,
yeah,
talk about their impressions of the city, but more so, their love for the game and what it means to them, and at that point should be settled into the city as well. So why not, tap them? There's nothing like Toronto in the summer. So, I mean, they're in for a treat. And there's going to be so much happening, as there always is during the summer, but escalated to another level with, all the sporting events that will be
oh
taking place too.
yes, oh my
So
goodness.
it will be fun. It'll be so fun.
That's exciting, and it is interesting. You said like Toronto's getting all these sporting events, and they said now with a new team as well. It's just like Philly here. There's so much going on just this year alone because we've
Yeah.
got the World Cup here as well. We also have the Major League Baseball All Star Games going to be here in July. There's the PGA Championship Golf Championship is in 2 weeks. That's going to be here. So
Nice.
there's a lot going on this summer on top of celebrating 250 years of America. They're going to celebrate that in June and July throughout the so yeah, a lot's happening here as well. So
That's
I
so
totally get
cool.
it. So that means there's going to be so much things happening, couple million people coming in and out of the city.
Mhm.
It's going to be really busy. So I think that I can only imagine what Toronto's going to be like. You said in these next couple of summer months.
Yes, it's gonna be insane. Like, it's
Yes,
already insane with the traffic, right? So
yes, yeah, yeah.
and they
It is
gonna keep
insane.
shutting down the expressways too, but there's and then, there's only one way into the city and there's one way
One
out,
way
and when
out.
you shut
Yes,
that
yes,
down,
yes.
you know
Yes, yes, absolutely. And Nitha says Fanatics Fest in July. I think that's in New York. So yeah, you got World Cup's going to be in New York. I mean, the World Cup's going to be in a lot of different places: L.A., Toronto. I mean, there's yeah, it's big. It's going to be huge in a lot of different cities. So I just hope everyone stays safe, have fun, but be safe out there in the when
Yes.
you and trying to join enjoy these sporting events
Yeah, be
as well.
responsible.
So, all right, now we got let's transition to the Raptors. There, you just said it feels like 2016 for you,
Oh my gosh,
like you're
right?
covering it. They're against Cleveland, tied 2-2 in the series. What you've been thinking of this series? I'm sure your heart can't take it. It's been
Oh my
like
god.
someone
Listen,
they said the headline was Toronto survives a rock fight against the Cavs. That was game four. So it's they responded with a 4-point win, defending their home floor and heading back to Cleveland,
shooting
series tied.
shooting
So yeah.
28% from the field.
Yeah, it's really bad. Yeah, shooting in the
21%
bad
from
area.
3, like,
Yes.
if you were to tell me then that's how they won, I would not believe you. The way it's been a defense, the defense was on point, but
Yes.
the offense, of course, was nowhere to be seen for both
Right.
teams. It was so funny. But I am keeping those receipts of all those people at ESPN that did not pick the Raptors at
Mhm.
all
Yep.
to win this series. They have more, it seems, more firepower, of course. Uh, Scotty and okay, BI has had his struggles in this series,
Yeah.
but he's got to get it going, and he will. Watch him just focused in, and his shot was falling towards the end of the second quarter in game four. So he's
Yep.
just gotta, kind of work his way back into getting out of this funk that he's in. And after also calling out his coach in game one, and kind of get his head back in the space where it needs to be. And let's for a moment talk about how amazing Scotty has been in the series. By far the best player in
Yes.
this series. He's been holding it down for the Raptors, and it's not even his offense that's been, of course, telling,
Right.
but it's everything he's done on defensive ends that's proven to why he should be part of the all defensive team this year. Should have been
Definitely.
defensive player of the year, in my opinion, but of course that went to Wemby, but I digress.
Yeah. Yeah. So Wimby was a monster. Yes, he was.
I like cannot begin to talk about how amazed I am at the poise of the rookie Colin Murray Boyles and how effective
Yep.
this guy has been on a nightly basis, coming off the bench and giving. He just came off his first playoff double double performance, and so to see, and he's that, you'll notice when you watch him too, he's not one to take the ball and put it straight in the rim. He's like looking for the other
Yeah.
teammate, to kick it out to, or to see who's open to get the better shot. But at the same time, it's all a learning too, right? Like when you're in the paint, you just dunk
Mhm.
it, or just put it up and get to the line. But his aggression and just the way that he's been able to handle the pressure that he doesn't even feel is some, like, not all rookies have that mindset or that ability to do that. And so
Yeah.
to see how dedicated he is to his craft, and just, he's in the post game pressers, he's like, he can be very literal with what he says too, but just in a warm hearted way. Like, he's
Yes.
just been by far a sensation. And like, just I think the unsung hero for the Raptors.
Yeah, for sure. A great breakdown. I like that. And you said, I think with the way the Raptors have, with the way they played in this series. I mean, both teams, they went on their home court, so they've all defended home
Yeah.
court. So it's all going to come down to
Mhm.
if anyone can win on the road. The
When the
Raptors were
series
able to.
really begins.
Yes, that's when the series usually begins. Yep, that's when the series begins, when the road team wins. They said neither team was very effective. Both teams struggled in Game Four
Mhm.
offensively, but the Raptors' defense finally stepped up and
Yeah,
really show why they were one of the better defensive teams heading
exactly.
into the playoffs. So they were able to, they created what, 18 turnovers, and yeah, they had Cleveland in rebounding as well. So, and they were able to win in the fourth quarter. So now
I
they
don't
head back.
think they held Allen to, like, just 1 point to start the
Yeah,
game. Yeah.
right. Yeah. So now they head back to Cleveland where the Cavs have dominated and have played much better than Toronto. So I think Toronto now has to go back on when they go on the road, try to stop James Harden because he's actually been playing pretty well for the
Yeah,
most part, especially against the Raptors. So you're going to probably get another strong performance from him. But
Strus has
again,
also been pretty effective off the bench as well
yeah, yes,
for
yes,
for them too. He luckily had kind of like an off night in game
right,
4, but I mean, when he gets loose, he's firing from all cylinders from
yeah,
beyond the arc.
for sure, for sure. And I think now with Toronto, as you said, Brandon Ingram is going to be a matter of time, like when he really where he really good. You know, he can score, and now they got to be on the with R.J. Barrett, Scotty Barnes, and Brandon Ingram all on the same page, playing well all at the same time. So they just got to get strong performances from all three to really continue on to continue on to try to win the series and beyond. So it's good, yeah. So like I said, their elite defense will have to continue to keep showing up. As you said, I think they total 11 steals and 8 blocks uh last game. So that was huge. And if they can get
Yeah,
those performances like that and shut down Cleveland, they could win the series.
yeah, it's all about building on that, building on their confidence, and like each time you're just continuing to build on what you've worked on. And
Yes.
it's both teams have made adjustments, right? But now it's
Yep.
trying to figure out, okay, we all know each other's tendencies and how we can maneuver those tendencies to now dominate or to, you know, be more aggressive to get to the W at the end of the day.
Yep, it's all about that. You're absolutely right. Well, yeah, so that's interesting. And so they're 2-2. They play tomorrow night in Cleveland. So we'll see what happens. I know you're looking forward to that series. See if the Raptors can get beyond the first round. Got the Toronto Temple, like I said. So yeah, a lot going on with being a Toronto fan. And you said the Blue Jays also trying to get back into their winning ways. I know they start out very slow,
Yeah, they did.
injuries and things like that. So hopefully, I mean, it's still early in baseball, just in April, so just through the first month of the baseball season. So we'll
But
see what happens
isn't it
there.
crazy? Okay, it's the first month in the baseball season, but you've already seen the Red Sox, like, just dismantle their whole.
Yeah, Dominican, everybody, yeah, everything like clean house, and then
Yeah!
the Phillies just fired their manager today.
Yeah!
So and
I heard
they're
Don
starting.
Mattingly, the Jays, co hitting coach of last year, is now gonna be at the helm for the Phillies.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
interesting.
crazy.
It is
Yeah.
like just in a matter of like less than a few hours ago, the news comes out that the Phillies fired their manager, and now they're just yeah, the teams are like I mean really moving in baseball. It's only been 1 month.
I'm shocked at just how like, what has been going on that we're not aware of with
Yes,
these teams, right?
yes, it's I know it's always news in sports. It's always news. So yeah,
Wait,
Toronto's
Courtney, I
13.
have to ask you a question.
Yeah.
As we are recording this, your Sixers have forced a game 6.
Yes, I just saw that. I just saw the Sixers end up winning and forced a game 6. Wow. So it was just back here in Philly on Thursday.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a packed house, I tell you that. And yeah, they won pretty big too. 113-97 final score.
Mhm.
And Paul George. It looks like it was Maxi and Joel Embiid. With Joel Embiid back, that it makes a huge
Yeah,
he makes a difference. He does make a huge difference when he's
he
healthy.
does.
You know, so yeah, as we're
Oh, yeah,
recording,
he is very impactful, and
oh yeah,
Maxey.
he had 33. Yep, 33 and 8 assists. Yeah, yep. And Maxi had 10 rebounds actually. I'm just looking at the box score
Yeah.
real quick. Paul George 16, Joel Embiid 33 and 8. He came up big. Maxi 25 and 10. Yeah, that was huge for them.
Huge.
Definitely.
I thought that the Celtics were gonna
Yeah,
close it
I
out
thought they were gonna
tonight.
pull it off too. Yeah, so hey, that's a
Hey, more basketball,
More
right? That's what
basketball, more
matters.
basketball. So Sixers get another home game here. So more that means more traffic and more.
Right?
Yes, yes. I won't be going to the game, but I'll definitely be watching it from home for sure.
Yeah.
Uh, so we'll see what happens there. But pal, it was always a pleasure catching up with you. I really appreciate the time, and I'm glad to get you on. I know we usually do something during the afternoon or anything, but it was good to have a late evening
Yeah.
podcast and get ready for the WNBA season and with the Toronto Tempo for you as well. I'm
I'm
for
excited.
excited for the season, heading into the 30th season of the WNBA, historic.
How
Um,
cool is that? Yeah.
yeah, so cool. 30 years. I remember watching it from day one all the way
Same.
till from here now. So a long time.
With
So
Rebecca Lobo
yeah,
and
Lobo
Cynthia
and
Cooper, who's
Cooper
in
and
the
Cheryl
Hall of
Swoops.
Fame now. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, Teresa Weatherspoon. Yeah,
Yes.
it was amazing. My wife was a huge Houston Comets fan. Huge. Uh, she loved Cheryl
Cheryl
Swoops, and
Swoops.
I was a Cooper fan. I'm still I was a Cooper. Yes, and Tina Thompson was on that team.
Tina
Yeah, they were.
Thompson.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yes. It was amazing. They won the
You know
first
what's
four
cool?
championships.
What's gonna be so cool is, like, they're all part of the broadcast this year
Yes,
too.
yes,
That's
yeah,
exciting. They
yeah,
got a
yeah.
full slate of, like, amazing analysts and
Mhm.
sideline reporters, everyone who's a
Yeah,
part of that. It's gonna be
Hall of
so
Fame
fun.
players. Yeah, Hall of Fame players, and now you get to hear them. You said being part of the coverage and things like that. So yeah, it's gonna be an exciting season. I'm very pumped for it. But let everyone know, pal, how they can follow you, want to reach out to you on social media, where they can check out
Yeah.
passion projects as well.
Yeah, so I'm at Payal Doshi TV, and please, everyone, subscribe, like, comment on Passion Projects. It's Passion Projects with Payal on Instagram, Payal Doshi on YouTube, and it's Passion Projects with Payal on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And thank you so much, Courtney, for giving me the opportunity to come on again and share some stories and
Yes.
share the pod. And I just hope everyone gets a chance to listen and follow their passions.
Yeah, yeah. Follow your passions and enjoy all the things. I can't thank you again for doing this. I know we'll catch up again probably in the next few
Anytime.
months. We'll catch up
Yeah.
when you get a chance to be in the summer of Toronto, and then you'll have some more
Yes.
stories, and we'll catch up like during the be a little bit after the summer as well.
Let's
So
do that. That'd be
yeah,
fun.
all right. Well, thank you. Enjoy the
Thank
summer,
you.
and we'll talk soon.
Sounds good.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thanks.